This afternoon, really fortunate to have probably one of the newest members, actually, of the Tyresafe lineup in support of all of our campaigns, and that's John Stone of Stone Tires in St Helens. Afternoon, John.
Hi, Stuart. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thanks. Listen, great to have you here. Fantastic that you can be part of this. One of the reasons I highlighted that is because, especially over the last 12 months, the amount of visibility that you've got on, especially with the best use of social media, has been so powerful that it's now become a real good asset for us as well. What's been the highlight, really, of the last 12 months?
There's been quite a few highlights of the last 12 months. I think my most successful and most far-reaching achievement was the sting operation, which I undertook to prove that there was a problem with the tyres fitted to licensed vehicles. I believe it's a nationwide problem, but I concentrated my efforts in the Northwest. And when I say concentrated my efforts, what this entailed was, out of frustration of seeing some of the tyres that were coming to us on a daily basis on these licensed vehicles, and also from meeting with Francis Malloy last year, it was apparent that there was a massive problem with old tyres which are in circulation in service vehicles. So by that I mean private hire taxis, buses, coaches. So it was a kind of, what can I do about this as a one man on my own? I came up with the idea to buy a car myself. So I bought a Skoda Octavia, and I fitted this car with 4 tyres, which were shocking. One of them was 21 years old, one was 19 years old, one was 17 years old, and one was 10 years old, and also a winter tyre. All of these tyres were illegal in the fact that none of them bore the part worn mark, but equally, each of them had bodge repairs. They had multiple repairs, and some of them close to the sidewall and shoulder. I then proceeded to put the vehicle in incognito as a genuine taxi test. So this could have been a genuine taxi driver. Was this not an experiment? Attempting to plate a vehicle for 12 months to carry the general public around. And the results, as you know, were really mind-blowing.
You've made no bones about the fact that you're absolutely quite prepared to call out people and organisations, particularly when it comes to your stance on part warrants.
Yep.
And if I speak as the chair of Tyresafe in my 13th year of doing that, it doesn't always tally with what we believe, and sometimes it's really difficult because we come across those little clashes. Okay, so what do you see in what we have in common? In other words, what makes you a supporter of Tyresafe? What can you get from that?
Okay, so although myself and Tyresafe may disagree on a total outright ban on part worn tyres, one thing which I believe that we both are aligned in the view is it's in your name, Tyresafe. You want safe tyres on the road. I want safe tyres on the road. The majority of my colleagues want safe tyres on the road. The reason I adopt such a hard stance approach is that when it comes to part worn, Tyresafe's own statistics show, NTDA statistics show, the government statistics show that over 90%, I think it's 94, 96% of all part worn retailers, when tested, were selling illegal tyres. So in the absence of tighter regulation, I mean, there's regulation here now, but let's be honest, it's not enforced. If it was enforced, I wouldn't have been able to call out 4 councils and prove what a sham it is. So I would be all for a registration system where only licensed, approved, responsible retailers could sell safe part-worn tyres. But at the minute, there is no such scheme that exists, which means, I don't want a half-hearted approach. It needs to be all or nothing. If it was, you can put part-worn tyres out there, but they are by licensed retailers. I mean, look, if you want to buy fireworks, they can cause harm. So you've had to buy them from a licensed retailer. If you want to buy cigarettes, if you want to buy tobacco, you've got to go to a licensed retailer, because there is accountability there. But now we're seeing, up and down the country, that anyone watching this, I can guarantee on your way into work, you will go past a car wash, and that car wash will sell any tyre £20. They're not technicians. They're not trained technicians who are fitting these tyres for you. They're people who are getting them off scrap cars. Make no mistake about it. They're paying £5 for the tyre and are selling it to you, me, or anybody else for 20, 30, £40 a tyre with no repercussions, no comeback whatsoever, because they're being allowed to. The fact that there is no proper regulatory body enforcing this just means that if it's not safe, it's not right. And that's what I'm saying. So although we sometimes lock heads, and I know it can be frustrating for both of us, we have the same aim. Nobody wants to open a paper and see another fatality caused by a defective tyre. So I would see that we are both aligned. Yes, we'll always have issues. Marriages work perfectly well, and there's always issues and disagreements there. But ultimately, I look at it as a relationship, and a great relationship that Tyresafe and Stone Tyres and myself have. That the end goal is the same. All we want is people safe on the roads with safe tyres.
Yeah, great. Yeah, it's a great message. What's your advice to those people that are looking to make a success from raising tyre safety awareness?
So if you take myself and it's people would say I am a success in raising the profile of dated tyres, of part-worn tyres. It's just about this era that we're in now, this digital era. It's about embracing what's available to us, like us now having this conversation at different ends of the country. We all have the ability to raise awareness on this, and I would urge people to make the most of the ability what they have. Everybody has a smartphone, everybody has a computer. It would take tyre dealers literally 5 minutes a day. All they would need to do is just highlight. I mean, we have and anyone can rip this off, I don't mind. We have a wall of shame and a wall of fame. Wall of fame is when we get the nice BMs, Mercs, Audis coming in and they go up. But equally, we have a wall of shame, and that's when you've got tyres which threadbare, the cords are out, they're 20 years old, they're cracked and perishing. It's just about banging the drum and letting people know. Awareness, awareness, awareness. Get the message out there. It's like the advertisements. It's background noise. You can be watching a soap, but there'll be an advertisement on in the background, or you can be driving into work and hear something on the radio. The more people of us that stand up and highlight this fact, then other people like yourself will pick up and share it. Other people will maybe on LinkedIn and look. The amount of comments I get going, wow, John, I didn't realise tyres have a date code. There was one chap, I'm hoping you'll be able to get a comment on it, but there was one chap who said, John, purely on the back of this video, I went out and checked my tyres. They were 20 years old. He changed all 4 tyres on a used car, which he bought, which were 20 years old. So it's just about being constant, just constantly putting out content to do there, and just adopting a all hands on deck approach. When you see something which is bad and you think, oh my God, this is really bad, instead of just putting it in your scrap pile, show people what we're seeing on a daily basis. And then the people who are saying, this isn't just a problem, it's one off. If you're getting 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 tyre dealers up and down the country going, well, actually, this is what we see on a daily basis, it may make the public think about, they'll want that £20 tyre, or should they pay extra and get a bit of a decent one? Yeah. And not just that, it will make the public more aware and looking. So if they are still going down the part-worn route, and that's their choice, at least they're educated to say, hang on a minute, pal, that tyre is 15 years old, get me a newer one. So it's given them that little bit of knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. Including tyres, but of course, not just exclusively to tyres. What do you believe are the most important factors in enhancing road safety?
Again, it's education. It's not just about tyres, it's education. Getting people to keep on top of their cars. We see people coming to us on an ad hoc basis saying, my tyre pressure light has come on the car. So before we will check in their petrol flap or on their door card, we will say to people, what pressure do you normally have in? And the amount of people who just look at us and go, what? I'm supposed to know that? Well, yeah, you are. If we're checking for a fault, you should know what the pressure is that your tyres should be running on, or you prefer them to run on. So it's just about education, but also making people accountable for their own vehicles. That's your vehicle. You are responsible for that vehicle on the road, because not only are you entrusting the safety of your own passengers, but it's other road users. The same as the decision, which I was vehemently against, for the government to give a 6-month extension on MOTs. The amount of people who came into our garage, and you've seen the setup, we have a drive over tread scanner. So no more, a chap in a tyre garage looking and go, needs 4 tyres, that love, I'm sorry, it's going to cost you. We drive it over a state-of-the-art ramp, which puts a laser scan of the tyre up on a screen in front of them. Whether they come in for 1 tyre, 2 tyres, 4 tyres, or a puncture, every vehicle goes over that. And we were having people coming in for punches, and we were saying, your tyre's actually illegal. It's on the legal limit. It's on 1.6. So sorry, we can't repair that. And the argument was, yeah, but I've still got an MOT for 6 months. I'll get it done next week or the week after. It's then reminding them that whilst you may have a piece of paper which tells you you've got an extension, you still have a legal obligation for the safety of your car. I've now made you aware that that tyre is illegal. You are not exonerated from any future proceedings should this go wrong for you. So it's just, I strongly believe, like we touched on before, it's education. Give people the knowledge. People are, it's not necessarily that they're malicious with it or the ignorant to it, but they just don't know. So if you tell people that, you should be checking your tyres on a regular basis, you should be checking your brakes, you should be doing all these things, you should be checking your spare. The amount of people who ring us up for the mobile assistance because they've had a puncture or they've had a blowout, they've gone to put the spare on, but the spare's flat, and it's been flat for 2 or 3 years. So I think it's just about a constant awareness and a drive home that we are all responsible for the safety of our cars. Before we go to bed, I lock the front door, lock the back door. I'm sure you do the same. Before you go on a long journey, check your tyres. It's simple.
Absolutely. Yeah. Last question from me. What do you feel that the role that Tyresafe has in being able to enhance road safety overall?
Again, touching on what you've said there, what Tyresafe do as an organisation and as champions of road safety is the content you put out there. So there's people who may not be comfortable going on camera. I am, if you haven't noticed, but there may be people who aren't comfortable in going on camera. But they don't need to, as long as you're sharing the content and the assets that Tyresafe is putting out. Just keep putting out the really good content that you are. I mean, the 20 pence test, everybody, I had somebody said to me the other day on one of the social media networks, it was, you should give away free tread depth gauges. And I said, we don't need to, because one, they'll get flung away. But the second prominent thing is everyone's got a 20 pence piece in their pocket or in their purse. Just use a 20 pence and check the tread depth on your tyres with 20 pence. And it's initiatives like that what Tyresafe are running. I would say just business as usual. Just keep on putting the content out there. And then the people who, unlike myself, aren't comfortable on going on camera, they can still share that from their social media pages. They can still put the posters up in their garage. They can be telling everybody, and again, constantly just banging the message of checking your tyres and safe tyres.
John, fantastic, really. Really appreciate you putting the time aside to be able to do this. For the first time, take part in the briefing, which, and I have to say, I think your contribution is going to make a massive contribution to overall that message we want to create at the briefing. New assets coming for you to be able to use. I just want to say on behalf of Tyresafe, thanks so much for the work that you've put in so far. Fantastic visibility. There's no point in me saying keep it up, because I know you're going to do that anyway. And I look forward to working with you, and we look forward as an organisation to engaging with you more as we go along, and especially the delivery of the message and education. So thanks, and I really appreciate your contribution.
No, and it's reciprocated. Thanks for allowing me to be part of it and for the platform that you've given me. And I'm sure that this is going to be a very mutually beneficial, long-lasting relationship. And the winners isn't just John Stone Tyres and Tyresafe. The winners is the general public, because everyone's going to be driving around with safer tyres.
Yeah, well said. Thanks, mate. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much, John.
Thank you very much.